What's up, Falcons Nation? It's your boy Jew coming at you with another Atlanta Falcons video. As always, Falcons Nation, rise up. In today's video, I would like to give you guys some quick Atlanta Falcons news, and then I also want to talk about draft prospect TJ Vasher. But if you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you'll know when I've done Atlanta Falcons content. Hit that like button for your boy. I really appreciate each and every one of you guys for continuing to tune in. We are on the road to 1,000 subscribers. We're a couple subscribers away from 900. So I would appreciate you guys if you help me get to 900 and then to 1,000. I appreciate you guys continuing to share out my content. As always, if you would like to follow your boy on Twitter, you can follow me at JewTalkSports. But with that being said, let's jump right into the video. So first off, in Atlanta Falcons news, today the Atlanta Falcons signed punter Dom Maggio. This punter actually played his college football at Wake Forest, and he's played 1 year. This was his first year. Last year in 2020 was his first year in the NFL, and he was actually cut by the team that had picked him up. And the Atlanta Falcons have signed Dom Maggio to a 1-year deal. I don't know a ton about this kid, but for what I hear, he is a pretty good punter. So that's pretty much all I have for you guys when it comes to Atlanta Falcons news. But he is the first player that has been signed under this new regime. Terry Fontenot and Arthur Smith, first signing is Dom Maggio, punter. So I guess we'll see in the preseason how good this guy is, or in the season we'll find out how good this kid really is. He is a young player in the league, but like I said, I don't know a bunch about the kid other than he played at Wake Forest, and they say he's a pretty good punter, a pretty good kicker. So I guess we'll see this upcoming season. But with that being said, I also want to talk about in this video TJ Vasher. He is a draft prospect that I've watched tape on for our Atlanta Falcons in this upcoming draft. He is a guy that's ranged in the fourth. They believe that he'll be picked up, when I looked at the mock drafts, that he'll be picked up anywhere between the 4th and 6th round. And I could see this guy being a good fit for our Atlanta Falcons. TJ Vasher is 6'6", 215 pounds. He played his college football at Texas Tech. And if you guys go watch his tape, highlight tape on YouTube, I really like what I saw out of the kid. Very explosive, has great hands. He puts me in the mind of Mohamed Sanu, and I really feel like our Atlanta Falcons could use another big physical wide receiver. To me, that was something that was missing from our roster last year due to Julio Jones going down with injury. We have a lot of shifty wide receivers like Calvin Ridley, Olamide Zaccheaus, Russell Gage. We have a lot of those guys that are real twitchy, but we really don't have one of those big, imposing wide receivers that can win a lot of jump balls, one-on-one jump balls and fade routes and things of that nature. A big presence in the red zone other than Julio Jones. And I think this kid, TJ Vasher, would be a good prospect for our Falcons to take a look at later on in the draft. If you guys have been watching, Terry Fontenot talked about the Falcons will bring in quarterbacks. We will bring in wide receivers to compete. And I do believe that this is the best way to go about, this new regime to go about it, is not allowing any players to feel like they're untouchable, but to bring in competition. And I do think TJ Vasher will push players like Calvin Ridley. He will come in and push players like Russell Gage, Olamide Zaccheaus. I'm not too sure if we're going to be able to get back a player like Laquan Treadwell, who signed for a 1-year deal last year. If we're able to bring back Laquan Treadwell, then we may not need to draft a guy like TJ Vasher. But if we're unable to bring back a guy like Laquan Treadwell due to our current cap situation, I do think that TJ Vasher will be one of those guys that I think the Falcons should strongly take a look at. I do believe he'll be on the draft board later in the draft where we could possibly get him. And I really think that he could be a guy that could become, one of those superstars in this league, especially if he's able to learn under a wide receiver like Julio Jones. Just because of his big body style, he is one of those big wide receivers. He's not the fastest guy From what I hear, he runs like a 4.5 40. But if you go turn on his tape, what I loved about him was his ability to catch the ball, to adjust his body and catch the ball in traffic. He does a great job of using his hands to make catches, and he has a great radius, has very long arms, a very long, lanky athlete. And I do believe that he's a guy that the Falcons should take a look at, especially because we play in a division that has physical corners like the New Orleans Saints. Last year, they kind of bullied our wide receivers, especially without Julio Jones being on the field. And also the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They're another team that has physical corners, Carlton Davis and the other kid, Dean, on the other side. Jamel Dean, he's another long corner that plays with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and they have very physical, press up type corners that will play press man covers and things of that nature. So I feel like we need at least one more 6'2", 6'2" and above wide receiver, one of those big physical receivers that can catch the ball in traffic. I love Calvin Ridley. I think that Calvin Ridley is one of the best route runners in the game, one of the best under 25 wide receivers in the game as well. But I believe that Vasher could be one of those guys if, somehow, some way we're unable to pay Calvin Ridley, or somehow, some way, Julio Jones does go down with injury, knock on wood this year. TJ Vasher could be one of those guys that could play that Julio Jones type role, or play that Mohamed Sanu type role, a guy that could be a chain mover on third downs. A guy that can also play not only outside, but possibly in the slot, and be kind of like a tight end where you can use him in mismatch situations due to his size. Another thing that you want to keep in mind is that Arthur Smith, coming from Tennessee, he had big wide receivers there in Tennessee with Corey Davis and with the guy Brown that they had over there in Tennessee. So I do think that A.J. Brown and those guys were big physical wide receivers there in Tennessee that could block very well as well in the run game. And I really feel like that's what we were missing last season. We didn't have those big physical wide receivers that could actually block downfield. Laquan Treadwell, when he finally got activated onto the 53-man roster, he did a solid job when he got his opportunities. But Calvin Ridley, Russell Gage, Olamide Zaccheaus, those guys struggled to block in the run game. And as we know, Julio Jones was battling injury pretty much all season. So we really struggled on the edge to be able to block cornerbacks and safeties and things of that nature, and linebackers. And I do believe that TJ Vasher could be one of those guys, if we were to draft him, that could come in, that could be that physical presence in the run game, that can block, the safety zone and be physical with these DBs. And also he could be one of those guys, like I said, in the red zone, that could be a big body that could box out and kind of rebound, if you will, be able to catch jump balls over these smaller defenders. And that was something that Mohamed Sanu, was really good at when he was with the Atlanta Falcons, was being able to post little DBs up and, catch the ball. And Mohamed Sanu was one of the best. He had one of the best set of hands in the league. He didn't drop a lot of passes when he was here with the Falcons. He was one of those glue guys. And I could see TJ Vasher being one of those players for our Falcons. He could be one of those Corey Davis type players that played with Tennessee in this Arthur Smith scheme. One of these guys that you can use and isolate him on one-on-one coverages, one-on-one coverage. And he'll be a mismatch due to his size, that 6'6" body frame, a guy that can go up and high point the football. I really think that would pay dividends for our Atlanta Falcons. And I do believe that you could get him with in the later rounds, and he definitely will. I believe he will exceed the expectations of our Atlanta Falcons fan base and the coaching staff. But you guys, let me know what you think of the video. I definitely suggest you go take a look at TJ Vasher's tape, his college film, when he was playing at Texas Tech the last couple seasons. Like I say, he's one of those guys that was a scoring machine in the red zone, a guy that has very good hands and kind of a poor man's Mohamed Sanu. But I really think that he could come in and be, a future star player here for our Atlanta Falcons. But with that being said, this being your boy Jew. Let me know what you think about the video. Let me know what you think about the new punter that we signed, Don Maggio. Like I said, I didn't know too much about the kid. I know he's really young, coming into the league, but it does seem like the Atlanta Falcons are trying to get back to correcting the special teams, which is a very good thing. Another thing that I wanted to mention that I didn't get a chance to mention in this video really quick, we also fired the former trainer here with our Atlanta Falcons. The strength and conditioning coach was let go over the weekend, which I think is a huge deal for our Atlanta Falcons as well, due to the ACL injuries and the huge amount of injuries we've been having over the last 5 seasons of guys tearing ACLs and rupturing their Achilles and things of that nature. I really feel like that could be some type of act of God where you can't really control injuries. But I do think that it has something to do with the strength and conditioning as well as of our players, because it just seems like every year we've been suffering a ton of injuries. And I really think that it was smart for Terry Fontenot and these guys to bring in new strength and conditioning coaches, guys that'll be able to help these guys lift weights and things of that nature and take care of their bodies, and also help these guys with their nutrition and things of that nature, making sure they're putting the right things in their body, during the off season and also throughout the weeks when we're in the actual season. So you guys let me know what you think about that as well, with us letting go of the former strength and conditioning coaches. And also just let me know what you think about the new punter that we signed. Let me know what you think about TJ Vasher. Do you think our Falcons should bring in another, bigger body wide receiver? I really think that would pay dividends for our Atlanta Falcons. But with that being said, this be your boy Jew. I'll holler at you guys in the next video. As always, Falcons Nation, rise up. Peace.